Pork chop, extra gravy. Go ahead.
Hey, Bird Gang, make sure y'all watching the Rational Logic podcast, alright?
Bird.
Be there.
Bird Gang.
Fly, Eagles, fly, man.
Yeah.
Fly.
What's up, Bird Gang?
What up, Bird Gang in the building?
Good.
7-0.
7-0. What we doing out here? Like the Giants lost
Every
too.
week, man.
Every week is something, right?
Every week it's fun, man.
That's a good thing. And you know what? I know what jersey you got on right now. You got
We're
Devontae.
rocking the Victory Monday, Devontae Smith.
Devontae
Yep.
Smith. All right, cool. Bet. But you wore number 11 yesterday. So let's talk about A.J. Brown for a second. Like, for real. Like, what did you think about his performance? Do you see that something that can be consistent, long-lasting? What's your thoughts?
It's definitely working because the reason, like, I think one of the main reasons why the Eagles went out and got AJ was because it helps with Jalen Hurts' ability to make throws over the middle and everything, which has been an issue throughout the first couple years of his career. Right. AJ Brown kind of helps that.
Right.
Devontae Smith would have been a very fine number one if we wouldn't have went out and got AJ, but this just puts everything over the top.
Right.
And I think AJ is like, he's the perfect number one receiver that Eagles fans have been looking forward to having for a while since
That's
Terrell
true.
Owens.
Like when it comes to like T.O., right?
Yep, T.O.
Brown,
was
it
very
kind of
loud.
reminds you of T.O. when it says, I mean, he had 3 touchdown passes. And kudos to Jalen Hurts. You know, he threw 4 touchdown passes, no picks.
Yep.
He looked good out there, you know? So, like, when it comes to the game, let me ask you this. So, what things did you see that you were kind of like, you know what, I wish we did better at, or I wish we didn't do? Like, if you have to get some critiques.
Well, with a 7-0 team, it really is hard to find many things to complain about. But I think if we want to make a deep playoff run,
Right.
I think we need a veteran kick returner, someone we can trust, because I don't think I trust Covey in a playoff game. Because
Right.
I've seen so many rookie returners mess up a big NFC or AFC championship game just by fumbling and giving an underdog team a short field.
Yeah.
I'm kind of worried Covey has that kind of potential.
Mm.
But also the run defense is super inconsistent, and we got to be better at making third down stops.
Speaking of a rookie and run defense, right?
Mhm.
Jordan Davis is out for 4 to 6 weeks. I mean, he was
Yep.
he was the big guy in the middle.
He's the main reason that we're stopping the run. Yeah.
Right. So, how do you think he impacts our team? For next
I
month?
think it's gonna be a little bit of a difference, but Milton Williams, honestly, he's a dog. We got him in the 3rd round last year. He rotated in very nicely with Hargrave and Cox and gave us some production. I think he'll step in and he'll hold it down while Jordan Davis is out. But it is a disappointment to have our 1st round pick go down that fast, you know?
Yeah. And to your point, I'm looking at the schedule. I'm like, even with Jordan Davis gone, I don't see a loss on our schedule. What's the chances we go undefeated this year?
Man, that's really, really hard to say because, I mean, we look like the best team in football, but we could always run into a buzzsaw when we don't expect it. That's why
I don't see no buzzsaws.
I don't see it either. Like, I'm very confident every week, but I can't let my expectations get extremely through the roof because then I'm going to let myself down if something does happen, you know?
We're not Dallas fans, man. That's for Dallas.
Yeah.
Dallas fans put expectations through the roof, and
Yeah.
every
No,
year.
I'm very critical. I try to look at everything when I'm analyzing the Eagles, you know?
Yeah.
Try to look at everything, and I realize not every play is going to be perfect, but we're
Right.
7-0, and
7-0, baby.
we're clicking.
Yeah.
We're clicking on every cylinder right now, it looks like.
Let me ask you a question. If you had
Okay.
to choose a side, either offense or defense, what side do you think needs more improvement?
Phew.
No, right?
That is a really tough question
Right.
because there will be moments
Pretty
where
good.
the offense isn't clicking, but I think it's hard to say. They're both playing really well. Like,
Right. Facts.
Between the offense and defense, I mean, I have more complaints about our special teams than any of the other two phases, but
Okay.
I'm gonna say maybe the defense.
Okay, tell me what.
It just goes back to the run game. Honestly, our secondary is fine, and our linebackers are able to tackle, but we just need. I think we have enough depth to where as long as Gannon is making the right play calling on defense, then we should be able to be solid throughout against the run and the pass throughout the rest of the season and hopefully into the playoffs.
That's a good point. So how do you feel about Gannon? Like, if you had to give him a grade, like, is he a top 5 DC, top 10, top 15?
I'd say he has his moments where he's very frustrating with his play calling, but he really isn't that bad of a defensive coordinator, and we're still doing our thing.
Right.
And I think his scheme is good, but I think he makes boneheaded play calls sometimes.
I agree.
I give him a B.
Give him a B. B minus, B plus, or just a B?
A solid B, I would say. Yeah.
I think, to your point, I think he keeps control of the game, but when you have like Sam Reddick and Josh Sweat playing in coverage, that's not playing to their strengths. That's kind of mind-boggling to me.
I don't think. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't think that's not the best. That's not the best point of emphasis, in my opinion. But for the most part, what I will say when it comes to Gannon is he hasn't given me a reason to doubt him, because
I don't really doubt him either.
Once we get a lead, there hasn't been a team that took the lead from us. Even with Jacksonville, we got down early, but once we took a lead.
Yeah, exactly. And we are the only team to score 20 plus in every single game too.
Every single game this year. So that's love on both sides. So what I'm gonna tell you this: when it comes to the offense, I'm trying to figure out this wide receiver screen thing that they love running. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of Devontae Smith in the wide receiver screen.
Yeah, especially, and that is a Shane Steichen thing. And I knew that was an issue coming over from the Chargers.
Right.
He's a huge fan of running screens, and I can't stand it. And that was a big reason why we started 2-5 last year, because Jalen Hurts was still developing, and they were relying on him to throw the whole time. We weren't running the ball, and we were calling these dumb screen passes that were getting blown up.
Blown up every single time.
And it was super predictable.
Yeah, and you know what? I think we have the running backs to run running back screens, and Dallas Goedert is probably the best screen catcher tight end in the game. I mean, he's plus yards every single time. So that kind of boggles my mind a little bit too. But I will say, the good thing about being on top is you get to try different things, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if you got a lead, maybe you run that screen just to see how it works and maybe take notes of it. I don't know what their mindset is, but I feel as though that, our head coach, Nick Sirianni, has a hold of the team. Let me ask you this. When it comes to team chemistry, when's the last time you felt like a team from Eagles, standpoint had a chemistry like we have right now?
I mean, the chemistry was great in 2017. This team feels even more special.
Right.
It's crazy. I'm getting a really, really good feel. Before that, honestly, I don't remember a team like having this much love for one another in my history as an Eagles fan, at least. Right. And I've been a fan for 20-something years.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. It's crazy because when you look at it, if you're like a super fan like we are, you go on YouTube, you look at the after the game, and the locker room speeches and everything. They're having a good time, and they really are. From my standpoint, and I don't know for sure because I'm not there, but from what I can take from it, it's a genuine brotherhood. It's a fellowship within that team that is refreshing. You know what I mean?
It's great, yeah.
It feels good to know that your team feels good.
Definitely.
And then everything's coming up Philly. So we got the World Series going on right now. It's 1-1. It's in Philly tonight. Hopefully the Phillies can go and pull that thing out. And then, we're 7-0. We play Texans on Thursday. Hopefully we're 8-0. But speaking of the Thursday game, let me get some predictions from you. Like, number one, who's your MVP of the game? And number two, what score do you have for us versus Texas in Houston on Thursday?
I think the MVP of the game on Thursday.
Yeah.
it could very well be somebody on the defensive side for us, but honestly, I'm going to go with Miles Sanders. I think we're gonna have an easier time running against them than throwing against them because they have two solid corners in Stingley and their rookie Petrie too. Like their secondary's been playing well. Mm-hmm. Do I think we're gonna pass on them? Yes. But I think the MVP on offense is probably going to go to Miles Sanders. I think the run game, it's either going to be Hurts or Sanders. If it's on the defensive side of the ball, maybe Hassan Reddick.
I love it. I love that. I think Miles Sanders should have a monster of a game. I'm looking for him to put up 125 and 2 TDs. I think your man Quinn. I think we get ahead early. I think your man Quinn, he gets a sack this game. I think he gets a little bit more in tune with what we're trying to run and figure it out. He had some great points. He said, this team has embraced me. And he doesn't have to be the man. You know what I'm saying? Like, our defensive line, really, even with Jordan gone, is like...
everybody's getting their reps.
It's unmatched. Nobody has the depth that we have from a defensive line standpoint. And then we have dogs. We have nothing but dogs. So I feel as though that was a signature move by Howie Roseman. I think he's the best GM in the game. By far. And speaking of that, the trade deadline comes on Tuesday, right? Is there anybody out there that you would be happy with, or anybody you're looking for to get traded to the Eagles before?
This is interesting, and I was thinking about it too.
Yeah.
Someone was bringing up, I saw a tweet about the potential of adding Kareem Hunt or Cordero Patterson.
Right.
And I mean, I think our running game is fine as is.
Okay.
But I do think either of those guys helps us. Like Cordero Patterson, especially as a returner, we don't have to use. He's been hurt and banged up this year. But if we put him on returns, I'm not crazy about having Smitty on returns because I don't want to risk our number 2 receiver out there. I would rather Quez Watkins or somebody like Gainwell maybe be back there. I think or Desmond King is available from the Texans.
I heard about that.
That was the other guy that I was thinking of. He's good on special teams too. Like I think I want to add somebody who could be like another pass catcher out of the backfield or a power running back or somebody that can help on special teams or just a mix of both.
Right. And you know what? To your point, I think that we have room to add another a power back of some sort. I feel like for pass catching back, I feel like we got Boston Scott, Gainwell, Sanders. All of them can catch, and they can.
That's true.
They can move with the ball in their hands. So I'm not really pressed on.
I would rather have a power back over.
Because Jalen Hurts is our power back. Let's just talk about it. Jalen Hurts is really our power back when it comes to short yardage situation.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts more than anything else with good reason, but
he is essentially undefeated at the goal line.
Yeah, I just hate for a situation where Jalen gets hurt on one of these plays, and they just kill us.
Exactly. I heard Jason Kelsey on New Heights. He was talking about how there was one drive that we ran earlier this year where we had 3 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 QB sneaks on the same drive. Jason Kelly was like, man, these don't feel good anymore. I'm getting older. Like, I got 700 pounds of muscle on top of me.
Right.
Pushing that pile.
Right.
Yeah, them QB sneaks they're going to take a toll on us.
Eventually, right? And we're blessed to have, I think from a standpoint of all phases of the football, except for special teams. But we have one of the best field goal kickers. Our punter is doing better than advertised. So I thought he was going to be a mess. Our return game is really, if anything, it's a ching in the armor, it's our return game. And, when Deshaun Jackson, he was talking about he wanted to play for the Eagles or the Packers, he ended up signing up with the Ravens. I think that would have been perfect for him. Come back home.
That's all he would have had to do for us, honestly, because there's not a role in the offense for him.
I mean, if you got to put him in, he's a depth player. Plus, he goes to the city. He's going to be beloved by the city, but I don't know if we would have paid him the money. I don't know what the Ravens are paying him for real, but I would love to see Deshaun Jackson back. I wanted him to win a ring with us.
That's what I wanted the whole time he was there. Hopefully,
Kelly, man. Fuck Chip Kelly.
Yeah.
As far as that goes.
Awful.
So when it comes to Thursday, so what's the score? What are your thoughts?
I say 34-17 Eagles.
And Miles Sanders, your MVP.
Yep.
How many touchdowns he get?
I'm gonna say 130 and 2 touchdowns.
I love it. I'm thinking 125 and 2 myself. I think he is MVP as well. I don't think we have to throw the ball. The great thing about this team is that no matter what you prepare for, we can go the other way.
Exactly. Yep.
There's no shutting something down because we get okay.
Exactly. And when we get called for penalties, it's frustrating. But it seems like we make up for them next play.
That does happen quite a bit, and some of the penalties are ridiculous, like the pointing, the taunting penalty by AJ Brown.
Yeah,
that was like little ticky.
The man scored 3 touchdowns, and they're just calling it so soft nowadays. It's rough, man. Like Phil Mara, the owner of the Giants, I think his family was one of the big reasons why they changed it to where there are penalties for taunting all the time now.
Yeah.
I think he was like one of those guys that was like, there's no place for that in football. I'm like, it's perfect for football.
It's perfect for football. It's a sport, you're supposed to talk shit. So, yeah. And then I look at, from a AJ Brown's perspective, there's a stat that says that AJ Brown has more yards this year than the whole Titans wide receiver core combined.
I heard that stat earlier on ESPN. Yeah, that is wild. And Titans fans were defending Treylon Burks and saying that AJ Brown was terrible. I'm like, are you kidding me? You traded us a top 10 receiver who was getting over 1,000 yards every year in an offense based around Derrick Henry with Ryan Tannehill at QB. He missed 5 games last year and still had about 900 yards receiving. Like, it's sorry, man. And then Treylon Burks goes in first day of OTAs, complains about his asthma.
Yeah, right. So it speaks volumes to Jalen Hurts too, though, right? That he can translate his skill set. He's gonna have a career year this year.
Definitely. This is his breakout year.
This is. I got him. How many? He got 6 touchdowns on the year, something like that.
He had 6 coming into the game. Now he's got 10. He's got the 10-2 touchdown interception.
No, not Jalen. AJ Brown. So he has.
Oh, Brown has 5 touchdowns this year.
5. So I got him at 12 and 1,200 yards. That sounds about right. He probably had more yards. Because he got 9 games left. So he's gonna ball out. So I really feel, unless we have to, sit starters down, he's gonna have a career year. Jalen Hurts gonna have a career year. Miles Sanders, he's gonna have a touchdown career year. It feels good to be an Eagles fan, man.
Oh, it definitely does. And I think, what was it, Jeremy Maclin in 2014, the last time we had 1,000-yard receiver?
Right.
Because I know Ertz had 1,000 yards as a tight end for a few seasons with us.
Yeah.
But we haven't had a receiver go over 1,000. AJ and Devontae both can go over 1,000 this year. So
it could definitely happen. Let me ask you one last question before we end.
Okay.
What team in the NFC can prevent us from meeting our aspirations? What team can prevent us from getting to the Super Bowl in the NFC? Do you see a team
in the NFC?
In the NFC, because that's the only thing we got to worry about, the Super Bowl. We got to go to the NFC.
Honestly, as much as I hate to say it, I think it's Dallas.
Me too.
I think it's Dallas, as much as I hate to say it.
But even though I say it's Dallas, I know we whoop Dallas ass. So if that's is this your king? Yeah, is this your king? No, that's cool. That's fine. One thing I will say is that the 49ers, they looked good yesterday. I give it to them.
They did.
They looked good yesterday, and but they're not even leading their division right now, so I can't even worry about you. Like, get to the playoffs first. Get to the playoffs first before I even start thinking about you. But that's a team that I feel like we got Dallas numbers. I would love. The good thing is we get to play them before the season is over. And we get to see them against with Dak Prescott. So
no excuses,
Yeah, we'll see what's going on. So
the excuse before was, we only won by 9 and we had our backup QB. I'm like, don't discredit the win. Like, it was a big division win, and y'all were pretty shit though,
because there was so many Dallas fans talking about Cooper Rush needs to replace Dak Prescott. So don't tell me that shit. Man.
Yeah, exactly.
They have it both ways. You can't have it both. I mean, if you're gonna go what you're going with, stick with it, and that's that. You know.
Right.
But yeah, man. Like, yo, Mark, my man, I appreciate you being with me today, man.
Man, appreciate you, man. This was fun, man. We're gonna chop it up again.
Yeah, of course we're gonna do it again. And for all the people watching Bird Gang, we 7-0.
7-0.
Logic. Once again, y'all take it easy. Bird Gang. I ain't got my jersey on. I'm still doing this. Hey, have a shot for me on Halloween. Don't do nothing stupid. Y'all have a good night. Peace.
All right. Take it easy, guys.